Whoa, 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 whoa! I don't think my truck's supposed to do that. Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to the Nighthawk parcel. We're playing some more Gold Rush today, and I thought it would be time we kind of dug in and got a little bit of gold. Now, I did a whole bunch of gold mapping on this particular property, drilling a ton of holes to try to get some different sample placements. I did find this area over here, which seems to be relatively rich, and it's funny because this little cross-section here is colored dark, which suggests that there's really high concentrations of gold, and there does seem to be, but it only goes down to about 9.5 meters. When I look over in these sections, it's a little bit lighter yellow, but it goes all the way down to 15.8 meters. So we're at like 5.9 to 15.8, so we got about 10 meters there too, I guess. And if you look at the total amount of gold here, there's 3,130 ounces there, which is more than anything you can get in this one little spot over here, which is a little bit strange. Nevertheless, this one's a little smaller, so I think this is probably where we're going to start off. We're trying to dig this one out a bit, see what we can find there. Now, we did run into a happy set of circumstances. They did another update. And because of how upset people were losing all of their gold and things at the end of Season 1, they gave a one-time opportunity to be able to take a gold and cash payout, I guess, for everything that you spent in Season 1, as well as anything that you might have gotten to unlock some of the different machines and stuff in Season 2. And so we have, if you look at the top right there, you can see 1,251.65 ounces of gold. And I still have 3 employees that are working for me as well, gathering a little bit more. So we're pretty much in good shape, money-wise, I think. I think it's time to go shopping. We're going to skip right over using the mobile wash plant. We'll set up our Tier 3 setup in here, and we'll get some real gold out of this place. Now, the mobile wash plant did a pretty good job of gathering gold for us. And we'll still continue to use probably the excavator, but I'd love to get the dump truck, because I haven't used that yet. But first, we'll have to see how much we can sell all this gold for. That's a pretty serious chunk of gold we have there. I've never sold quite that much. I think 300 and some odd ounces is the most I've sold at any one time. So this might give us somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think, $1.5 million plus the 300. So we might have like almost $2 million in our account by the time we go sell this thing. But quick trip to the blacksmith shop, stop at the bank, and then we're off to buy some equipment. Well, it turns out that when you melt down the bars of gold, you actually do get different sized bars. I thought they were all pretty much... Come on, get in the truck. I thought they were all pretty much the same amount, but look, this one here is 999 ounces. Almost 1,000 ounces right there. And this one's just a couple hundred ounces. 229 ounces. Isn't that crazy? Look at the size difference. That's huge. I was not expecting that. I thought they'd be kind of all the same size. Let's go sell these things off at the bank. Then go shopping. This should be fun. Well, it's a little bit like hitting the lottery, but we're at $1,720,302. That should go a long way with all the shopping. Now, I think the Frankenstein conveyor belt thing here, this is not available yet. Yeah, it's going to be available in the DLC, so that should be interesting. 159,000 for the dump truck. I do want a dump truck. We're going to have to haul in some equipment or some gold rather, from fairly far out in the claim. So this is going to come really handy. We can load it up with the large excavator and then drive it down to our wash plant where we can clean it all off. Now we have reinforced trommel for 111,000. And we have the regular trommel for 37,000. This one's apparently available in the DLC, but it's going to be old Arnold's trommel, $74,200. I wonder what the benefit is of old Arnold's trommel. See, it's not really clear what the difference is going to be, ultimately. Let's go ahead. Let's go over the big bucks. We'll get the reinforced trommel. Oh, that's available in the DLC also. All right, so I guess we just have one trommel to work with right now. We'll get this one. Now, I wonder if the other trommels like have a higher gold capture rate or something. I don't know what the deal is there. We are going to need a power plant, so we'll grab this. Fuel tank will definitely come in handy. Perfect. Okay, so now we have Glacier Creek. Now this is another mobile wash plant, and this isn't what I want to use. I don't know why we have that one exactly. Oh, we don't yet. It's available in the DLC also. So I'm thinking maybe the DLC, they're going to have some more maps and stuff. That should be interesting. We have the shaker deck we can buy, or we can get the D-Rocker. D-Rocker is 67,800. The shaker deck is 22,000. So I guess if you're cost conscious, the shaker deck is certainly the way to go, but I actually want to see how this de-rocker works. So let's get this one. I'm gonna load that up. Man, it's nice to be able to run around and buy things without having to worry about price limits so much. We have a couple of jigs here. Gravel pump. I think that was for like finding diamonds or something. Planter. Let's grab. We're gonna grab 2 of the duplex jigs because we can apparently have 2 of them on here now. With the recent update, which is pretty cool. We're gonna want a conveyor. Man, this is gonna take a long time to get everything set up once we get this all bought. Okay, we need sluice box. Grab that. And then I guess we'll need all these. S-Rock sluice box. Alright, so I don't know. TDJ sluice box. Well, that's the duplex jig suit sluice box. So do we need 2 of these ones? I don't know. They kind of changed stuff around a little bit. You know, actually, I should try and check in the journal. Maybe that'll tell me. So, tier 2, tier 3. All right. So we're gonna need shaker trommel, duplex jig, sluice boxes, big power. All right. That doesn't really tell you how many. All right. It looks like G and F. It's got it all labeled, but it doesn't really tell you what they are. So I think G and F might actually be the same sluice boxes. It's showing the setup for the wash plant with the shaker deck, but not so much the de-rocker. Alright, whatever. We'll just try to smush it all together and hopefully it works. Okay, so I have 1 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those. I feel like they changed up the sluice boxes a little bit. I'm pretty sure there used to be other ones. We have our dump truck. You know, I probably should get our front end loader just in case. This might come in handy. 112,000 for that. And I don't think we even really put a dent in this $1.7 million we're working on. This is amazing. I might even be able to go back to the bank and pay off that loan I took out, so we're not having to worry about paying that. Now, we'll still have the 45% cut that we have to give up of our gold, unfortunately. 732,000. That's still going to leave us with like $1 million. $1 million in my pocket. Before I even... Do I even need to go gold mining? Why don't I just walk away with my $1 million? I don't know. It looks like there's a lot of the ground over there, though, so I guess I want to try to haul that out. So let's order all this stuff. Good lord, that's a lot. This is going to cost a lot to send it over to the claim, too, I would imagine. All right, so we don't want... let's see, Nighthawk Valley, this is what we want. I think we need to upgrade. Confirm. All right, mines, machines on claim. Now, the actual... let's see, so that'll do for the dump truck. What's going on here? Machines on claim 2 of 3. How do I get the dump truck to go over there? There we go. Alright, all this stuff. These things used to take the upgrade slots in order to send them over there, but it doesn't anymore, which is nice. We will need another slot for our front-end loader. Okay, upgrade there. Confirm. Wow. Man, starting to regret buying that front-end loader now. No, we can't sell the back now. I clicked a little bit too quickly, so we're going to end up under $1 million. Drat. We can't quit now. We've got less than $1 million. Hold on. Why can't I move this over there? Okay. All right. Well, that's not working. Let's just confirm. We sent a bunch of it. Front end loader. There we go. Another 1,500. So we have, wow, that costs a lot of money. $621,102. And now I don't have enough to pay my loan off. Well, doesn't that stink? Okay, we do need more supplies though. So we're gonna need a trailer. I have lots of buckets and things, but we're gonna need all the miner's moss, the riffles and everything for our sluice boxes. I need another water pump because it's somewhere in the move I managed to lose a water pump. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but we're gonna go snag that. So we'll do a little shopping trip over here. We'll need cables in order to move the different pieces around. Once we have all that, we can head out to the claim and start to try to get all of our pieces in place. Alright, we have the whole truck loaded up, and I decided to also buy a large trailer here as well. Just in case we have, like, the need to haul extra things. If we ever have to move stuff around, I think it'd be handy to have it. And what the heck, I mean, we got the money to spend anyway, so... Let's get this truck back to the claim. Try to put some gold in the box. But first, we're going to have to get the whole plant assembled. It's going to take a little bit to do that. It's, you know, we did the assembly once before, and it takes quite a bit to haul everything around to get it all set up. But actually, I want to see what my loan amount is left on here. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough to pay the whole thing off, but let's just double check. Yeah, I took out a loan for more than $1 million. So I'm guessing not paying that off anytime soon. But that's okay. Sort of. We'll dig up a whole bunch of gold. We'll get that taken care of. And then I'd like to get to a point where I can actually buy off the claim. And it might be worth it, actually, to keep stockpiling the cash and not pay off the loan for now. Build up enough cash that we can buy the claim outright. And then we won't have to give up 45% of everything we bring in, which would be good. Alright, we're back at the claim. And we have a fair amount of work to do now to get everything kind of set up in here. I'm going to grab the... Grab the little, I don't know, chains or ropes, cables, whatever you want to call them that we got here. I think I might actually... I think I'm going to move my excavator in order to make room for the new equipment, but that's alright. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Come on. Alright, we'll get our 4 cables hooked up here, and then we'll get stuff put in place. I think the first thing we're going to grab this time, I think, is this D-rocker. Which looks kind of neat. Just curious to see that thing working. See if it does a better job maybe than the shaker deck does. Although, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the funny thing is, they had the D-rocker in the one season of Gold Rush, but then they didn't really use it ever again, which makes me think maybe it's not the ultimate tool. But it also might have to do with the kind of the ground you're working with. So maybe the shaker deck is ideal for certain circumstances, and the D-rocker is good for scenarios where you have like a whole bunch of boulders or something. I don't know. We'll see though. All right. Get the rest of these hooked up. And wouldn't you know it, one of the cables actually glitched itself right through the bottom of the truck. How am I going to get that thing out of there? Alright, let's see. Maybe I can move the truck and maybe it'll leave it behind. If we kick this off of here. I hope this works, because I don't want to have to drive all the way back just to get one cable. That's ridiculous. Nope, it's somehow got itself looped completely around my axle. That's great. How am I going to get that thing out of there? It went through the bed of the truck and has gotten itself completely wrapped around my axle. I can't even reach it to click on it in order to pick it up, I don't think. Oh, maybe. There we go. Yeah. Jackpot. All right, well, that's good. I thought I was going to have to work with 3 cables again. I think I broke one the last time I did this and got stuck working with 3 then, too. Okay, we've got... Alright, all 4 of them are hooked up. Let's get our excavator on the go. It's a bit of a tight fit around this trommel, actually. There we go. Nope. That would be the wrong way around. Apparently, I've got this thing turned around, so now forward is backward and backwards forward. Whatever. We'll get over there. Oh, sorry, trommel. You were kind of a piece of junk anyway. Okay, let's get the D-rocker settled in here. But hopefully that's low enough. We shall see. Alright, where's the cables? There we go. There's one. Which one have I got here? That back corner. So it should probably go over here. This one's the front corner. There we go. No trouble. That's also the front. One left to go. Nice. Alright, get this thing to show me the handy dandy yellow glow so I know where to put it. Nope, don't want to do that. Oh, wait. Yes, I do want to do that. Let's just turn this whole thing around. Wow! Incoming! Oh, I'm going to smash everything with it. Just don't break the chains. Just oh, I just smoked that poor little tent. I don't know how it would handle being hit by something like this. I'm pretty sure this thing weighs a ton. Just get those ropes untwisted. There we go. No trouble at all. Oh man, I got this thing backwards. All right, this is gonna be a problem. Drat. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch my lines around here. So let's put this down. Okay, there we go. If I switch the lines around, I can kind of flip this thing right in space, I think, here. All right, that was kind of a supreme nuisance, but we did get it turned around. So we can finally spin this thing into place, and then we'll have our D-rocker all set up. Oh, that's getting low. It's getting low. Let's try to extend this out a little bit. There we go. Nice. One down. Man, that was more nuisance than it needed to be. But we got it in place. All right, I'm going to get the rest of these things in place here. We'll need to shift our transformer or our power generation station around. We'll see what we can do to get some gold out of the ground. Well, it took some doing, but our gold plan is all finally together. We have our tier 3 setup down here, and I have it fully completed with the conveyor and everything. So it was pretty nice to get that little influx of cash from Season 1. We're still now under $60,000. No, it's actually, under $600,000. So it's not so bad. We have $578,000, so we're in good shape money-wise that way. Now, what I don't have is a lot of fuel. So I did put a little bit of fuel in the power generator because I needed that. I put some more fuel in the large excavator because we're going to need that too in order to do some digging, but we can't get a delivery of fuel until midnight tonight, so our big fuel tank is empty. I missed the window by like 22 seconds to order the fuel, so I probably should have paid attention to that first, but at least we have everything all put together. We can start doing some digging. I moved the mobile wash plant out of the way because we had that out in the claim where I'm going to do the actual digging, and if we look at the gold map, it's this cross intersection. Oh, where are we here? Parcel 4. There we go. It's this cross intersection I'm going to dig out first. I think we'll probably start with plot 263 here. It's a relatively small quantity, but it only goes like a half meter deep, so we'll have that dug out in like a couple scoops. And then we'll get into some of this deeper stuff. This large patch over here is probably what we'll concentrate on next time to try to get some more gold. But for now, I want to get the stuff that's fairly rich in this area right here and see what kind of money we can pull out of the ground. Now, the tier 3 setup, I think, is supposed to be... Actually, I think I just messed up my little marker. There we go. Tier 3 setup is supposed to be the best at capturing the gold out of here, so we'll see how it goes. But we'll need our excavator, we'll need our dump truck, and then once we have our first load of pay dirt to bring back, that's when I think I'll fire up the wash plant. We'll get everything going that way. It's going to take a minute to get out here, but it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, I missed a little hose connection there I probably should have grabbed, but that's okay. So, here we are at the area we're going to dig out. Now, they've changed the color of the box on here, so it actually sort of represents more the soil you're working with, or like the amount of gold that's left in it. Now, I might actually need to... Yeah, I'm going to need to reposition a bit. This isn't going to work. We're too close to it. I can't reach out with the bucket to get the scoops that I want. So I'm just trying to position our excavator a little farther back. No, come on. Give me the... There we go. Alright, so there's not going to be very much gold in this one little section, but we'll get it down to the bedrock pretty much right away, and then we'll kind of work it out. So we're going to need the dump truck. Now, this is the first time I've used the dump truck at all, so I'm not entirely sure how much it will let us fill up into it, and how much we can load. Like how big of a load is when we bring it back to the wash plant. So I'm really curious to see what that's going to look like. It should be fun to drive it around, though. That'd be good. Hopefully we have a decent amount of fuel in the dump truck here, because I actually, I don't know, I've never fired this thing up. They all seem to, I mean, they generally start with like a half a tank, so, actually it looks like we have, yeah, somewhere between a third and a half a tank. That's a little funky handling. Alright, let's haul this out to where we're going to do the digging. And I'll get it turned around and positioned in place where I want it to be filled up. And then hopefully with the angle that I have this the excavator on, we'll still be able to fill up the truck the way I want to. Just loop it around here. It's so weird the way the trailer works on this thing. Alright. Dump truck's in place. We have our excavator out here. The wash plant is ready to go. Man, let's get some gold. Let's get some gold. I mean, we have almost 600,000, but I have a pretty significant loan to pay off, so yeah, it's not really that much money, unfortunately. Get this into digging mode. Alright, thumb's working fine. Alright, let's get all this going here. Now, hopefully... Oh, man, I actually can't... I can't reach very well here. This is going to be a problem. It's not letting me scoop too well. Let me just zoom this out a bit. Oh, I see. It has the percentage fill the same as like the actual machines do. So that 8% for that little bucket load, but that wasn't really even a full bucket. So hopefully it won't take too long to fill this thing up. Now watch, I'm actually dumping pay dirt on the ground there. That's not good. 17%. Alright, this won't take too much. Alright, our dump truck's all filled. It actually didn't take that much. Just a little bit out of the ground there. I'll have to run this back to the wash plant. Now, I did notice, too, that I probably should park the truck a little bit differently next time. Because there's a little bit too much extra movement involved in trying to turn the excavator. We could fill up the truck faster if I park it closer. And then we're only making, like, 45-degree movements instead of, 180 kind of thing. But we'll drive this in here, back it up to our little conveyor where we can dump it in. Man, this thing does not turn very sharp, obviously, being a big truck. Okay. No good. Okay. This is going to be tricky. Backing up in this game is a little awkward. I think maybe it's because I spin the camera around to be able to see what I'm doing. Oh. Is that going to be good enough? I don't even know. I have yet to dump with this thing, so I don't know what it requires. In terms of, like, how close you have to be. Alright. Dump truck's in position. Let's jump out of here and get the fire up the wash plant. Go, tier 3. We have a lot of buttons to push in here. That'll give us our water supply. Now we have a whole bunch of different things to turn on. And only 37% fuel left in this thing, so hopefully it doesn't burn through it too quickly. So we have our D-rocker, the conveyor belt container, the trommel, and we have 2 duplex jigs on this setup now, which is something, the change that they made recently. So before, you could only have a single duplex jig on, and that only lets you capture gold through the one flow, and the other one just sort of dumped on the ground. But now we have 2 duplex jigs, neither of which have buckets underneath them. That's a gap. I should probably take care of that. I have all the mats in place, though, so we can capture gold through the mats, and that seems to be where we end up getting the most of the gold. This isn't really the duplex jigs, it's actually in the runs. And I have no buckets in here. Alright, we need some buckets. We need at least 4. So we end up capturing more gold in the runs than the mats, and they actually changed it around, so now we have 2 of the runs that we can put the mats in, which is good, instead of just 1. There's our full 4 buckets for the duplex jigs. I think probably the longest and most tedious thing in the game is setting up this whole tier 3 setup, because you have to move each of the parts individually. It took quite a while. Alright. Bucket into 1. Come on, there we go. All right, we're all set. We're ready to run some pay dirt. Let's get into the truck here. Dump this in and see how much we get. Now, there's a few scoops in here, so hopefully we'll get a few percentage points toward, toward the mats and the jig. Well, I guess we'll find out. How do I dump this thing? Bed up, bed down is R and F. So let's do bed up. How fast can I dump this thing in here? Is it? Oh, I see. It's at 60%, 70%. Wow, so it gets fairly full, but it doesn't max out. That's good. Have to put this down. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that everything's processing correctly here. What do we got in the jigs? 2%. 2% the jigs, 3% the jigs, 2% the mats. Alright, so the mats seem to be filling up relatively quickly. Man, that thing's empty already. No, it's got... not quite yet. 10%. So it's not going to be the fastest process. 3%, 4%, 5%. It seems to be filling up the mats and the jig buckets relatively quickly, though. So hopefully this won't take too long. Alright, I parked the truck a little bit differently this time, but now it's just a question of whether I'm going to be able to reach effectively with the bucket. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. It's kind of an awkward position here. This rock that the claim is right against here actually makes this really awkward. That's not bad. 11% per scoop, so, it's going to take, 9 or 10 scoops or whatever to fill this thing up. That was not a good scoop, though. The rocks got in the way a little bit, so we didn't really get a good load that time. Now, the gold on either side of this little patch here that I'm digging now is roughly the same concentration, so, we can grab all of it without too much issue. Alright, I'm going to fill up a bunch of these trucks. We'll take them back to the wash plant. We'll see how much gold we can extract out of the ground over here. And how much it'll take, actually, in order to fill up all the mats and the buckets of the wash plant. Hopefully not too many trips. I mean, it looks like... I don't know. It was about 4% for that load, so... That's not super reassuring. That's like 20 trips with the dump truck. That's a lot. There's a lot of digging and a lot of dumping, so I don't know. We'll see. Well, I dug pay dirt all night long and ran it through the wash plant, and we managed to fill up just about everything. I mean, we have most of the mats filled up. There's two that aren't. One's at 97%, one's at 98%. But we have 4 full buckets, and, what is that, 7? Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 mats, I guess. 8 mats full, rather. Gosh, I can't even count today. 8 mats full. So, let's do a clean out. See how much gold we get. This is the first gold that we managed to take out of the Nighthawk parcel, so it'll be nice to see how much money we managed to pull out of here. But let's get all the water and everything turned off. Try to save a little bit of fuel. I did get a fuel shipment in last night, which was good because we kind of ran out while we were digging, and it was really important to be able to refuel everything. Otherwise, the wash plant doesn't work so well. All right, so now the tricky part here is going to be doing the clean out, I think. I have the buckets in the back of the pickup, I believe. Yes, it looks like I do, but I don't know that I have... I don't know that I have 8 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6... No, I do have 8. Oh, we're done. Perfect. No, wait. Oh, I need 10. Ah, it was 8 that I have full, and I need 10. All right. We're gonna might have to do a little bit of double back here. But first of all, we're gonna need water. Because in order to clean out the mats here, we have to wash the mats off in some water. So we'll just drive over here. Hopefully this will let me jump over the barrier. Come on, truck. You can do it. Oh, there's even a gap in the barrier. That's fine. All right, I'm going to get all these buckets filled up with water, and then we'll get these back over to the wash plant so we can actually wash out the miner's moss that... oh, can I even... There we go. All right, our buckets are filled with water, and fortunately, they don't spill when you tilt them on their side. Otherwise, I'd have a real problem here. It's a little hard to load them in the back there and not get them to tip over, but that's good. So let's get this back to the wash plant. I apparently left the water running. I did try a little experiment to see if you can use the hose to fill up the buckets. Now, they did say that in one of the recent updates that you could do that. However, I just have a large hose here, so I think it might only be with the smaller green hose. So it didn't work. Let's turn this off. All right, that'll get that all set up. Now, the tricky part here is going to be cleaning all the mats out of this thing because... There we go. That wasn't so bad. All right, we'll dump that there. Hopefully these don't cause an issue if I stack them on here. No, we only have the ability to clean out, I think it's like 8. Oh, come on. Don't, there's something about the top mat on this thing. It always falls through. It's just kind of lame. But let's drop all these down here so we can get our buckets of water over and clean all them out. You gotta get the one that went underneath, too. It's actually kind of a pain to get up and down on this thing. Look, it's sticking right through the bottom of the sluice box. There we go. All right, drop that there. We need some water buckets so we can start cleaning. I got to launch one out of there. Yep. All right, so we'll need 5 for this side, and 5 for the other side. So we only have like we'll have 8 buckets here because I had to use 4 for the two, whoops, oh come on, I had to use 4 for the 2 duplex jigs, which means that what we're gonna have to do is take the 8 that we can get for now. We'll grab our 4 buckets for the duplex jig. We'll take that all back up to the gold washing station. I'll run a couple of the buckets from the duplex jig through the wash plant, and then I'll come down and have to get the other 2 mats that we aren't going to have the chance to clean here. Now, unfortunately, it's going to be a real pain putting all these things back on because there's not a convenient way to get up onto that second sluice run. I always have to walk around or like try to jump up from the other side, which is sort of a nuisance. So we'll see how it works out, but 1 bucket left. Come on. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's start cleaning these. Now, I'm pretty sure the last time I did the Tier 3 wash plant, you only had to dip these once, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, you only dip them once. Oh, and actually, you know what? We may not even need all these buckets. I think we can... The water didn't get all that dirty. No, all right, nice. So we can actually dip a couple in each, which means I'm not going to run out of buckets. Looks like we can do 2 each. Once those 2 are done. So we will have tons of water. Sweet. Was not looking... Oh, that one I only got to do 1. Oh no, wait. I get it. There we go. Yeah, sweet. So now we... it's only going to take like 6 buckets. You know, didn't mean to do that. It's only going to take 6 buckets to clean this out, so that'll be perfect. And it's actually 6 per side we had. Not 5. Alright, that's the 1 sluice box clean. That gave us 3 buckets of concentrate here. I'm going to load these up in the truck. I want to kind of keep them separated. I'm curious to see what'll yield the most gold. I think when we were doing the Tier 3 plant in Pine Valley, it was the miner's moss that gave us the most gold, as opposed to what was in the duplex jig. Now, we have 4 buckets of concentrate from the duplex this time, so we'll see how that works out. And maybe it depends on the territory you're in. I mean, it could be a case of, you know, more nuggety gold in one area of the game versus, you know, finer golds in another, so we'll see. But that's 1 run. We'll grab all 4 of these. I'm going to put these towards the back of the truck. We'll get the other run cleaned out, and then we'll head up to the wash plant. Or, sorry, not the wash plant, but the gold cleaning area. And we'll see how much we netted off this. Alright, that's the last concentrate of our last bucket of our gold concentrate. So we have 4 for the duplex jig. There's 5 buckets here from the miner's moss. Now, what I realized when I was doing the second sluice run is that you can actually dip 3 of the moss into each bucket. So I only use 2 buckets for the moss or the run on the left, and I use 3 for the one on the right. So I really only need 4 buckets of water to clean out the whole set of moss, which is kind of handy. But we'll take these up to the gold cleaning area that I set up. I do have a pump and everything set up there already, connected into the water supply. So we just basically have to turn everything on and start dumping buckets in. I'm not going to bother using the magnetite separator. It's such a long drive to try to take the trailer back. Just don't even know that it would be worth it for me. And it seems, for the most part, like you know, we're getting much more value out of focusing on the gold anyway. So let's get this fired up. I think I have it all hooked up, right? It's all there. You know what? I don't have it hooked up because I'm missing an electrical wire. I must have some, like another one here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. I have a few extra supplies as we had more stuff on the other claim that I didn't necessarily hook up here. That's fine. We get that going. Turn this on. Oops. There we go. We're ready for some gold. Let's start first with the stuff that was in the duplex jig and see how that does. So we're starting off with 11.39 ounces of gold. Find out how much we can get out of this. Well, that was one bucket, and we're significantly better off than we were at the Arnold claim. So we're at one bucket, we're up to 45.5 ounces. So we had like 11.39 to start with, so that's 34 ounces worth of gold in one bucket from the duplex jig. And I think the miner's moss is supposed to have a greater proportion of gold out of these out of the tier 3 setup. So this should be a really, really good cleanup. Let's try one of the concentrated buckets that I got from the miner's moss. We'll see what we have in there. So far we've got 2 buckets from the duplex jig in. We'll try the miner's moss next. We're already up to 77 ounces of gold. That's pretty sweet. All right, 79 ounces of gold. Let's try one of these buckets. Oh my gosh, look at it go. 109 ounces, 115, 124, 132. Man, we've got really good gold in here. We're at almost 200 ounces, and I've only done 3 buckets so far. That is pretty sweet. I'm going to get the rest of these cleaned up. We'll see what our gold total looks like, but this is going to be a really good cleanup. Our last bucket just finished. We're at 625.5 ounces of gold in one cleanup. That's, what did I have, 11.3 to start with? So that's 614 ounces worth of gold in one cleanup. This was definitely worth the move to Nighthawk. Wow. I think I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go back and we'll mine up some more gold. I want to try and dig out what's left in that little concentrated area there. If we check on our gold map, this spot here is where I started to dig. And you can see this line here was where I was working on. And as you dig out the gold, you start to get it updates the grid to show you how much you've taken out of it. So there's still a lot of gold in the ground over here that I haven't snagged yet. It's down fairly deep. Plus all the gold we have in these areas, like this is huge. We're gonna be rich. This is ridiculous. But I'll go back and we'll do some more digging there in between videos. When we come back next time, I'd like to buy some of the content that's in the DLC, which came out. I've actually had to split this recording because I didn't have a chance to do it all at once. And in the meantime, the DLCs come out, so there's maybe some, like a new trommel or something we can pick up. I'd like to pick up the Frankenstein conveyor belt system and see how that whole thing works out. I'm really curious to see how that works in this context, because I'm not really sure how it's going to play into the game, but it should be fun to play around with. Thanks for everyone for checking out the video. We'll be back with some more Gold Rush another time, hopefully for another huge clean out. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.